Make sure to give Mom another hug. I think she needs it. Mom, thank you. So that's just one of the stories we're hearing from parents out here. Again, lots of worried faces. You see parents on their phones walking around, talking to other parents, trying to figure out what's going on, trying to maybe locate their students, their siblings. Want to try to pull you away from this emotional moment here. There was a parent just down here that me and my photographer, Enrique Ramirez, spoke to moments ago. He was actually nearby and was able to pick up his daughter and some of her friends and actually bring them here because, again, while there's buses here, the students haven't arrived. Trying to see if I can locate Mr. Flores here. Again, there's a lot of parents coming in and out, so it appears he may have already left. But again, just a chaotic scene for parents as they arrive here and they try to get information. The good news that we've been reporting, as you guys have mentioned, is that it seems that none of the students were harmed in this, and it's just a matter of time before they're able to be reunited with their family members. As soon as we get more information, you guys, we will pass that along to you. But again, they do not want parents or family members, loved ones, to go to the actual school. They want them to come here. It is a shopping strip near the intersection of West Fuquay and Hiram Clark. This is where HPD law enforcement officials are asking parents to show up and wait until they can actually bus their students, their loved ones, here to this location. Again, this is a developing story. We'll continue talking to some of these parents, and we will bring that to you in just moments. Guys, back to you.
All right, Bill Barajas reporting live there at West Fuquay and Hiram Clark. I want to go back and talk about that interview that Bill just got. Destiny's mom there, she said, the moment I saw my daughter's face, my heart was at ease. It was a blessing. It was a miracle. I told her I loved her. I mean, those are the kinds of scenes, Christine, that we are seeing playing out outside of that school as parents begin to be reunited with their kids. Destiny also telling our Bill Barajas just a short time ago that she believes it was the principal who was shot, the principal of her school. That has not been confirmed yet by Houston police, but that was her understanding. We heard from another young gentleman, Brian. Mario Diaz was talking to him and his dad. He said he saw the principal, there was blood. Again, a lot of moving parts right now as investigators try to piece together what took place inside that school. As we've been reporting throughout our coverage, we do know that one person was shot in the chest. One suspect is in custody at this hour.
Yeah, one suspect in custody, one person shot in the chest. Again, unconfirmed reports that the victim in this case is the school's principal, but again, we are working to get that confirmed at this point. But such emotional reunions that we're seeing, the bravery of these students speaking out about the unthinkable happening at their school. It's just so heartbreaking to watch this unfold in our backyard, and for these parents awaiting to reunite with their students. And we now know that no students were harmed today, which is an incredible relief as we await more answers as to how this started, why this started. But for now, just so relieved to hear that no students were harmed, and the bravery of these students experiencing such a tragedy in their school, again at Yes Prep Southwest Secondary School. Getting a live look outside of the school where we're seeing a lot of hugs, and we're seeing a lot of concern and fear out of these families that, you know, these are our families. This is in our backyard, and you hate to see a situation like this unfold at one of our schools, something that happens far too often in our country. But the bravery of these students, we heard from the young woman, the student that Bill was just speaking. She emerged as a leader today. She helped these students get out of their classroom, and we just have to commend her for her bravery, because what we're seeing from these students stepping up at a time of fear and in need for other students to get to safety is tremendous.
And what really struck me the most, Christine, about that interview that Bill did with Destiny, she was looking for her younger brother.
Yeah.
And she admits she got panicked. She started crying. But then she saw a teacher, and she stepped up and tried to comfort that teacher. And when you talk about a leader, that's it right there.
Yeah.
A young student who's panicked, who's petrified, terribly upset, trying to comfort a teacher who is also in a panic about what's been going on there.
We see so many leaders emerge during situations like this, and we know that our Mario Diaz is doing a great job out on the scene, speaking with families out there. Mario, it looks like you have another student. We'd love to hear from his perspective.
Yeah, this is Brandon Lopez. His father standing right over there. He gave us permission to speak with Brandon. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
I was talking to you just now because you were smiling, and you saw your father. It took a while.
Yeah.
What did you? His father's right there. We asked for permission, sir. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. We wanted to. What was it like for you when you saw your dad?
It was the happiest I've been in a long time. I didn't know what was going to happen, if I was going to be able to come out and be able to see him again. But just knowing that I could see his face once again just makes me so much joy.
Brandon, how much uncertainty was there for you? I can see it in your eyes, Eagle. How much uncertainty?
Could you repeat the question?
How much uncertainty was there for you?
There was quite a lot. I was trying, to get good thoughts. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy.
This happened at around 11:45 this morning. You heard the shots, or did you hear the shot?
Yeah.
How close were
We
you?
already signed them out on the other side. We're just waiting.
It was. I'm not sure how close it was.
But when you heard it and they said, "Hey, active shooter, potentially everybody," what did they tell you guys?
To just turn off your phones, stay quiet, try to remain calm.
How long from that moment until you were able to get out of the school safely?
I'd say it was around an hour and a half.
Well, Brandon, I know that it's been difficult. Your father's right over there. You were happy to see him. At the end of the day, you were finally able to connect. But it was challenging for so many parents and kids.
Yeah, it was. I saw my friend with his mother. When I saw her broke down like that, that completely shattered my heart. I was really close to crying right there and then.
Brandon, you've seen this in other cities. We've seen these type of situations, but for it to hit so close to home for you, what goes through your mind when you see all of this now?
It's just so much, because I never thought I'd be in a situation like this. It's just so shocking that people would want to cause things like this. It's just crazy.
You didn't see any of the injured, right? You didn't see
No, I did not.
All right, well, there's your father. He's a happy man. Give him a big hug again, because I know that was important for you guys. There you go. Brandon Lopez there, giving us some perspective. And his father, your father's name again?
Israel.
Israel Lopez. Gracias, Señor Lopez. Thank you. They were over here, and as you can see, they're starting to move the kids back down here. What we had is staffers who were trying to come here and move the kids back into that location over there. Those are the kids that appears to be that don't have their parents quite just yet. Is everything okay, Señora? ¿Todo bien? Oh, you can see, it appears that that's the mother. Right now, Brandon's mom, it appears, just getting on the scene. Whether you're standing 2 feet away from it or you're watching it at home, it's extremely emotional, and it's profound for any parent who is watching this right now. We're gonna go ahead and show you the scene over here to the side here and let Brandon and his mom have more time here for a quick moment. You can see the scene here. The kids are being moved down there. You have staff from Yes Prep. I will tell you that they have been very calm throughout this entire time, very professional with the families and the kids, and even with us, and we've been professional with them during this process. They're trying to make sure to connect the parents with their kids as quickly as possible. I'm gonna try to keep the shot over there for a moment. Senora, okay. Mrs. Lopez doesn't want to talk, but Brandon, thank you so much. Israel, thank you so much. Cuídese, señora. Take care. Again, you have reunions like we just saw, Christine and Andy, but you still have parents that are still waiting and trying to find it. ¿Están esperando todavía?
Sí.
¿Puedo hablar con usted? Soy un reportero Canal 2, estamos en vivo, ¿no? Pero usted está... Pero usted está... Oh, perdón, usted está buscando en este momento.
¿Mande?
¿Está
No,
esperando?
mi hijo está adentro. Yo estoy esperando.
Okay.
No lo dejan salir.
So there are some kids inside. The mother just told me here. She didn't want to go on camera. She just told me that her child está adentro. Your son's inside. Her son's inside. They just haven't let him come out just yet. So that's the situation for them. But as you can see, they've moved these kids down. They were right over here at this trailer home. This whole scene has really dwindled in the last 45 minutes. There appear to be staging on the north side here, and if you keep on going down where you see all of the ambulances right there, that's the entryway into Yes Prep, the charter school, of course, that's at the focus of this shooting that took place here on this Friday morning. Andy, Christine, that's the very latest from here. Back to you guys.
Mario, thanks so much. You know, a hug from mom, a hug from dad in that moment, it makes everything okay. When nerves are so frayed and there's so much confusion and chaos, it's exactly what those students need.
Yeah, and we'll go back to Mario in just a moment, but getting a live look from these, your heart breaks out of relief for these families. We know that no students were injured in this shooter situation that unfolded just about 2 hours ago. We first received word just over an hour and 20 minutes ago, but these emotional reunions are now happening as parents are finding their children. We just heard from Mario that a parent just informed him that one of their children were still inside. We do know that it is an active situation. It appears that law enforcement have the situation under control. We're not getting any sort of sense of urgency that there perhaps is someone else they're looking for. We know there were original reports that they were looking for a potential second shooter, but from where we're sitting, it doesn't appear that that is really an urgent thing at this point. So it would appear from our seat here that they are getting this under control, but still it is an active scene and an active situation. Again, as we're hearing from these brave students and these worried parents that were just so desperate to make sure that their kids were okay, all unfolding in our backyard, and hearing from these parents saying, I never thought that I would be living through this. And these students being so brave and talking about how they were scared, but how they helped other students during this really scary time. And we just couldn't be prouder of them, these kids in our community. Living through the unthinkable.
They're heroes.
They are heroes, and knowing that they are safe at this hour is just a tremendous relief, Andy.
Yes Prep emailing a statement to us just a short time ago saying that an administrator from the school was transported to the hospital. Christine, we've heard students, at least 2 students, say to our crews out there in the field that they believe it was the principal who'd been shot. That has not been confirmed yet by Houston Police. We are expecting to hear from Houston Police Chief Troy Finner at any moment. Of course, we're going to bring that to you live here on the air. The Houston Fire Department tweeting out a short time ago that one person was shot in the chest. One suspect, we do know, according to Houston Police, is in custody. And for the better part of our coverage here on the air, we've been witnessing these just gut-wrenching reunions that have been taking place all around the area around the school. Parents have been sent to a staging area at West Fuquay and Hiram Clark, where more reunions have been taking place throughout the afternoon as police get a handle on the situation there at Yes Prep Southwest.
And again, for our viewers that are just recently tuning into our coverage here on KPRC, we are in continuing coverage following reports of an active shooter situation that began just over an hour and a half ago at Yes Prep Southwest Academy. We do know that one person has been transported to the hospital. We just received word from the school that it was an administrator that was injured in this shooter situation. No students have been injured. And again, we're getting a live look from the staging area where Houston Police have asked parents to be reunited with their students. Again, this is at West Fuquay and Hiram Clark. This is a shopping center parking lot. But our Mario Diaz has been outside of the school, as well as our Bill Barajas and several other crews, speaking with families about what they witnessed today. And I believe we want to go back to our Mario Diaz standing by with a family there. Mario, what can you tell us?
I have Kimberly Avalos and Amy Sanchez. Their parents are behind me. They have said that we can talk to them. I want to say first off, how are you guys doing?
I'm happy, and at the same time, I'm worried of the school and how things will be in the future. But I'm still happy.
Yeah. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling fine, but I was kind of scared because I heard people like screaming, and I have a feeling it was like the people that was trying to hurt us.
So let me ask you, how close were you to the area? We were told, I believe it's near the front of the school. How close were you to the area where this happened?
I was too close, and I hear everything that happened. I heard how they break the door, and how the police come and talk with the intruder.
Did you hear a gunshot or gunshots?
I hear like 4 gunshots, and the teachers told us that we need to hide to the intruder not to look for us.
And Amy, how close were you, ma'am?
I was like kind of close. I was in the middle, and I heard only like some shots, and they were screaming, like they were like arguing. I didn't really remember what they were actually saying, but I heard that they were arguing, and I heard that then they were shooting.
What was it like inside of the school when you started to come out? How did that take place?
I was scared, and when the police come, the teacher told us to run away from school to one place that was over one.
So they told you to run?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sure you ran very fast. Were there several students that were running at the same time?
They were like 28 with me. They were 28, and when the police saw us, they told us that come for this way.
And Amy, what was it like for you when you left? Did they tell you to run too?
They told us to carefully walk and then to hurry up and come over here. They were telling us to go more in front,
All right, your parents are over there. A lot of kids were reuniting with their parents later than expected. What was it like for the two of you to finally be able to hug your mom and dad?
All right, we're going to take you live now to Houston Police Chief Troy Finner, who is speaking about today's school shooting. Let's listen in.
All right, thank y'all. Hey, thanks for your patience today. So at 11:46 a.m. at Prep High School, located at the 4400 block of Anderson Road, a call dropped, a shooting in progress call. Officers quickly arrived, set up a perimeter, thinking that it was a possible active shooter. Officers set up a rescue team. Once inside, they came upon the suspect, who surrendered without incident. The suspect was armed with a rifle. He was a 25-year-old black male, former student of the school. When he came into the building, the front door, it's a glass door, it was locked. He gained entry by shooting through a glass door and immediately fired upon one of the employees of the school. The only thing I'm going to release right now, because we're still notifying Ken, he was a white male and he was an employee of the school. He sustained a gunshot wound to the back. My officers, I'm really proud to say, administered first aid, got him to the HFD, got him to the hospital. He's in serious condition. I think he's in surgery, so we're going to pray that he's going to be all right. Right now, that's all we have is one suspect, one individual shot. I want to thank all our teams here, my leadership team, Harris County Sheriff's Department, HFD, Everybody responded. You know, when we get a call at a school and we think it's an active shooter. But I'm really proud of the quick response of the officers. It could have been a lot worse. And to the parents, why it took so long to get over here, we always want to make sure we do a systematic search. Every classroom, every building, to make sure that nobody else is in there, because sometimes you think it could be one suspect and it can be another one. So we wanted to be sure of that. And we're glad to say that the building is secure. Kids are coming back in. And also, we're going to set up where the parents can come and pick them up, but just look for more directions on that. Any questions?
The staff member, did that staff member confront the gunman?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I don't think he confronted him. I think that once the suspect fired through that glass window and came in, I was told that he immediately fired upon that gentleman.
How were you able to identify that he was a former student so quickly? He's 25.
Well, because of what the school officials told us.
What did they tell you?
That he's a former student. Yes, ma'am.
Have they didn't know if he had a beef with the person?
No, ma'am. I got you. Yeah, no, ma'am.
Have they had prior incidents with this individual?
I'm not sure yet. That's part of the investigation. The most important thing is, I think we have over 1,000 students, I was told, and no students are hurt. We're praying for the employee of the school, and I think that's a good day. I think it's a good day, considering.
Could you confirm that the senior members of, could you say administrator, that could include the vice principal?
I don't know who it is right now. They hadn't told me if it's a teacher, administrator, or anything. Yeah.
Can you talk parent to those who are watching this on a live stream? I just talked to a 13-year-old who heard the shooting, and then as she was being evacuated by police, walked past a little bit of this gruesome scene. Parents might be trying to have a conversation with their students this afternoon. How do you walk through
It's tough. First of all, I don't think any kid or anybody should witness this, but it's the world that we live in. The most important thing, a lot of times people don't seek the help. If any kids or any school administrator, anybody that's involved with this, seek some help through counseling. I recommend that, and I know the school and anything that the police department and all the other agencies can do to assist. We want to make sure the kids get counseling.
Chief, the students told us that they've actually drilled this type of scenario just 2 days ago. How important do you think that was?
I think it's very important, and also with all of our agencies, our brother and sister agencies around this county, you need to practice. You don't want anything like this to happen, but I want to commend those students. Every student I seen coming out, they were calm. The administrators, the teachers, outstanding job, and I want to commend them, and it speaks to that. They trained for it, so thank you.
Did he have any other guns on him, or?
One rifle, what we know of right now.
What hospital was he in?
I never give out hospitals. Medical center, yes ma'am. All right.
Did he say anything to your officers when he surrendered?
I wasn't told that he said anything. I know he surrendered without incident. Okay.
Do you have the response time? Just how quickly we're talking about? Because 1,000 kids.
Within minutes. Few minutes.
And then just really quickly, Chief, I mean, you talk about the quick training of the police officers. We mentioned the students who had just gone through this training 2 days prior, and yet all of these security measures in place, and this guy shot through the door to gain entry. Where do you go with that as a leader of the city?
Well, where I'm going to go with it, I'm going to tell everybody, like I always do, we need to look out for one another, but we live in a dangerous society, okay? So always be aware of your surroundings, but things happen, okay? And you can't prevent everything, but the response and the preparation and the training, I think it made it much better today.
Chief,
One more.
No, go ahead. I was going to ask if we have a Spanish speaker. This is a very highly populated Hispanic area. If you got somebody that can talk.
Yeah, we'll get somebody up, absolutely. Go ahead.
What kind of rifle?
I'm not sure. It's just a rifle. Yeah, I hadn't processed it. I've been on the scene just managing and making sure everybody's okay. And like I said, pray for that one school employee, but suspect is going to be okay, and we're going to try to determine what led to this, okay? All right, thank y'all.
Can we get in Spanish?
You've been listening to Houston Police Chief Troy Finner updating crews there at the scene on the school shooting that took place at the Yes Prep Southwest Academy around 11:46 this morning. The suspect in custody is a 25-year-old male, a former student, according to Chief Finner. This suspect gained entry by shooting through a glass door. A school employee, according to the chief, was shot in the back, was taken to the hospital, is in serious condition, and is in surgery at this hour.
Yeah, Police Chief Finner asking everyone for prayers. As you mentioned, that school employee who's been unidentified at this point is in surgery and is in serious condition. Also commending the bravery of the students and the staff at the school for getting out safely and calling it a good day that no students were injured in this shooting. Our Mario Diaz, we want to go back out to him. He's been live on the scene outside of Yes Prep. And Mario, a couple more thoughts. You're a father and you've been witnessing these heartwarming reunions and also the concern of parents witnessing something that is happening in our own backyards.
As a parent, your heart goes out to them. Because you imagine yourself if that could be your child, and what would you be doing at that very moment? So when I see these parents hugging their children, crying with their children, it hits home, and it hits home to all the parents who are watching. The good news is, as you indicated, this is not as bad as we thought it might be. When I first arrived on this scene, this was flooded with law enforcement. This was flooded with ambulances. Look how this scene is cleared. Everyone is starting to retreat back, and now they're starting to examine what took place here, which means this is over with. You have a little boy there, Giovanni, who we interviewed with his mom, Diana. You remember how they were happy to see each other, and now they're just standing around and processing everything. But the scene has changed dramatically for them and for so many other people because they have been able to reunite with their children, or they have contacted their children. It's a difficult situation. These are never, ever easy situations. We've covered them before. We hope to never have to cover them again. But today, the original point that you said, Christine, it's very tough for any parent to see what happened here. But good to know that at the end of the day, no child was injured. Of course, we're going to have much more coverage on this throughout the day, but for now, I'm going to throw things back to you guys. Mario Diaz reporting live in Southwest Houston.
Mario,
for KPRC 2 News.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that. So many raw emotions and so many stories of bravery, courage, and heroism that we witnessed out there at the scene, Christine. We go back to Destiny, who was there with her mother, who was still waiting for word about her young son, Destiny's little brother. Destiny was in school trying to find her brother. She panicked, she started crying, but she also provided comfort to a teacher who was also terribly upset by the situation that was unfolding. If that's not a leader, I don't know what is, but those are the kinds of stories that we're hearing today from these students. And it speaks to what Chief Finner said, that he commended the students and the staff for how they handled themselves during this crisis.
Without a doubt, no doubt, chaotic and concerning and so scary. And you and I sitting out here witnessing these reunions with all of you at home, and just like our heart is just bursting and breaking at the same time, because you know what these parents are feeling, right? And having it happen in our backyard, and these students, no doubt one of the worst days of their life, one of the worst things they're ever going to experience, the unthinkable happening, and them saying, you know, I stood up and I helped. And they're just so brave, and we couldn't be more proud. And again, we heard Police Chief Troy Finner commending these students and the staff, and there will be certainly details that are coming out surrounding this incident. But we just are so grateful to hear that there were no students injured. And our crew on the ground, you heard from Mario, and we also have our Bill Barajas that is at the reunion area where families have been meeting at the advice of HPD. We want to get out to our Bill Barajas. I know, Bill, if you're with us at this point, this is where the families have been reuniting, and we've been seeing these heartwarming moments, these parents saying, I never thought I was going to be living through something like this, and also hearing from these students that are talking about emerging as leaders, even if they wouldn't even call themselves a leader. We're saying they are, based on what they did in a time of crisis in their school.
Well, that's right. And really the word that I would use for some of the stories that we've heard out here is bravery. I mean, just you listen to them, you wonder how strong they have to be to endure what they did. there's a reunion here, there, just very emotional, wanting to wrap their arms around each other. But just back to what I was saying, you wonder, these children are so young. We spoke to a 10th grader just moments ago. They talked about barricading themselves in the classroom. He talked about making sure his friends were okay, that everybody got out safely that was with them. I mean, it just it tugs at you that they even had to. Tugs at your heartstrings that they even had to deal with this, and again, just a live picture of just tears, tears of happiness to be able to see each other, to be reunited. And again, one of the main things that we have heard out here is that they just wanted to wrap their arms around their loved ones, and that's exactly what you're seeing right now. That is just pure emotion and happiness to be around their loved ones and to finally hold them. And again, in our short time out here, that's exactly what we have seen. We spoke to Destiny, that Andy mentioned Destiny earlier. She was calm and cool and collected, and she said that she was waiting on her little brother. The first thing that came in her mind was her younger brother. She's in 9th grade. He was in 8th grade. She wanted to make sure he was okay. We also spoke to another gentleman named Diego. He was in 10th grade as well. He said the first thing that crossed his mind is to check on the person right next to him, and he was visibly shaken. You could see him shaking, and I asked him how he was doing, and he said, this is something that I'm never going to forget. I don't know how we go back to the very same classroom that we were just in. He said, I was walked out. I saw a trail of blood. I don't know where to go from here. And then he had that emotional hug with his mom. His mom was rubbing his back. She was giving him water. I mean, it takes a toll on them. We use that word bravery not lightly, because that's exactly what they're doing out here. But at the same time, when they're able to go back home and sit on the couch and talk with mom and dad, talk with their siblings, this is something that is going to be with them forever. That gentleman that I was speaking to earlier has just walked away. We were going to try to get him right now. We can try to see if this family. Hey guys, can we saw you guys run into each other's arm. Can we talk to you guys just real quick? Did you just come from the school?
Yes.
What's your name?
Alondra.
Alondra what?
Villafuerte.
Okay. What grade are you in?
I'm in 9th grade.
9th grade. Talk to me about that emotional reunion. We saw you. Was it your sister, your cousin?
It's my cousin.
Your cousin. Talk to us a little bit about what it was like to finally hold her.
I was kind of happy because she called me crying. She was like, Cuzzo, where are you? And as soon as I heard her like crying, I was like, what is going on? Like, am I really gonna lose my cousin? So like, I was so like confused. I was like, where is she? Because we didn't know what to do. We were all in different rooms. We didn't know what room to run into. We were just all scared. Everybody in my classroom, they were just like scared. They were texting their parents. I got more frustrated because my messages were not going through to my mom. I was like, what is going to happen to me?
When is the moment that you realized something was wrong? Did you hear something?
Yes, when I heard the sheriffs, they were like, put your hands up. They started going into every room. They were like, we need you to, when you get out, we need you to put your hands up. We were like, and they were like, this is not a drill. This is for real. We were like, what is going on? Like, I was losing my mind. I was like, am I going to see my mom again? Like, my family was just going through my mind. I was like, my family, the students that are in here.
We were talking about you and your fellow classmate, your peers. You guys are very brave to have gone through what you guys did. Now that you're out, talk to us a little bit about, have you been able to take a couple breaths? I mean, I can see your lip shaking. You're visibly shaking. Talk to us about what it's going to be like. We talked about going back to school.
It's not going to be the same. One, because we never had this happen to us, and we never thought it was going to happen to us. Yes, we have seen in other schools, but we never thought it was going to happen to us. We're going to be scared, but I think we're going to be fine. They're going to... And I hope the principal is safe, too, because he was the one to put himself in danger for all of us, to try to stop the people from coming in. So I really do thank him for doing that for us. and I just hope like all my peers and everybody that I know are fine.
What do you want to do? What is the one thing after being reunited with your loved ones? What is the one thing that you want to do right now?
Just spend time with them. It's gonna be hard to forget what just happened to us, but just spend more time with them and just have fun with them, I guess.
When everything was happening, we talked about the word bravery. Did you look over it? Could you see how everybody was doing, how everybody was reacting? What was that like? Would you say that is a correct word to use? Is how brave and?
They were just brave. Like we didn't even get to practice for it. They did tell us we were gonna have drills, but we didn't even get to that drill yet. But the way that my peers and the students and the teachers that just reacted fast to protect us, it was really awesome.
You're ready to go home at this point?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much for talking to us. Again, guys, that's really what we've been hearing the last hour or two that we have been out here. It's just how brave these students were. The fact that they never thought, nobody does ever, that this is going to happen to them, and then how they were able to react, taking care of one another, and then just wanting to meet here at this shopping strip off of West Fuquay and Hiram Clark to reunite with their loved ones, to hug them, to wrap their arms around them. And at this point, all they want to do is just go home and spend some time with them and try to put this in the back of their mind, even though, as she just mentioned, they know it's going to be hard to do. Guys, back to you.
Bill, thank you. The students, the staff, the faculty at Yes Prep Southwest, the epitome of bravery today. And Kalandra made a really interesting point. She said, you know, we were going to be practicing these drills, right? But the way the staff and the faculty, the way they reacted so quickly to protect us, it was awesome. And she stood there, her voice was trembling, her eyes welled up with tears, just so much emotion in that moment.
These beautiful reunions, and we brought this on the air just about 2 hours ago now. And as we wrap up our coverage, we just want to sort of circle back around as to what exactly happened. There was a 25-year-old former student who shot through the glass of this Yes Prep Southwest Academy, shot a school employee. That employee is now in surgery in serious condition, asking for prayers as he recovers from this surgery. No students were injured in this school shooting. And again, we were talking about the bravery of the staff and the students. We know that we'll probably learn about grief counseling that will be offered, and we'll be sure to pass that along as soon as we get new details. But this wraps up our coverage of this school shooting situation in Southwest Houston. Well, the very latest on clicktohouston.com and in our later newscasts.